People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack, king from right. Just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls. People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack, king from right. Just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. King, happy, many down, many jack, king from right. Just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls.
How we know about kayfabe is that he's a dog, and also it's participatory. And I think there's a difference we have going on, where one side acknowledges it, and they participate knowing that it's rigged, right? And then there's this one, the other ones are just participating, they're playing along, they know it's rigged. There's a thing here going on where your acceptance of how to interface with kayfabe, how to participate in kayfabe, whether or not that includes the fact that it's fake and scripted or not, is it play? I don't. You know, like I said, this was the edge of my thinking aloud. So the archetype, at least as far as I can tell, that I'm trying to manufacture as a TV station as part of mass media propaganda, is that of us as fire ants coming together in small intentionality networks that will eventually achieve synchronic harmony. Termio. We're into the sea of bullshit, forming small networks that will eventually come online. Now, I don't want to be an ant. Got a shitty architect to me. What the hell else do you have out there? Nothing.
Oh, hey, you're live streaming. Oh, yeah. It's called The Order of the Seven-Leafed Crown, and Why Seek First is on that thumbnail there. And if you turn off the thumbnail there, then you could say, hello. I see the assassins have failed. I'm General Griswold Gaiusgrim of still the second LARP ingression protocol. But just wait. This is a stream we're having. I've been ill. I've blown out my voice, as you might have heard on that video. It seems to have recovered enough for me to go back to work. And Ryan Cameron is glad I'm alive. We got Roho out there and Mills in the cult, who says howdy, invoking the magical power of Howdy Rascal. As seen above, you see on top of the mask, that's him, the actual Howdy Rascal. This is just his image we use for branding. And I believe Matthew Felty invoked one of the VNA member bubbles. Oh, look, Rakau is loyal as, and there's Matthew's bubble. Thanks, Rakau. Hey, there's Upcycle Club. Good to see you. And the Ron Copperman. All right, that's it. Yay. So we got the show. We're going to show. But meanwhile, let's no, they gotta have savings throws. Darn it! What are those? You might ask. Well, this branding explains them. In the corner has been swamped with a
mind control.
Savings throws for mind control. So this is how bad I have failed.
I understand you have a respect for serious play. Yes, I have a ritual with my channel where, like reminding fish that they're in water, I remind people that there's a lot of mind control out there, even if you just consider advertising.
So this is how bad I have failed.
I give you a savings throw against the mind control I use against you. So A, you know I'm using it against you, and if it works, I get more points. And B, you get the chance to resist it. You base your resistance on your choice between your will to survive, your social networks, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart.
Mind control will continue in a moment.
This show is brought to you by the Shadow Cabal of production executives, whom we now thank. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal, so say we all. And you can join them at the link at the top of the Hive Mind chat. You're swimming in mind control. How will you resist it? Will you resist it with your will to survive, your social network, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart? You choose. I roll 10 or higher half damage. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Woo! Survivalist with the prime 19, half damage for you. Socialist, Parachakras 14, half damage. Lovers of wisdom, just a 6. You're going to need your bonuses there. Heart folks, your bonuses, you don't need them because they don't work when you get nat 1. Full damage to the heart folks. And it looks like deuces. Deuces for the Indigo kids. And them's the savings throws for the Order of the Seven-Leafed Crown stream.
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. "Tear down that fourth wall," he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge. Join us in this creative revolution. Tear down the walls that confine your stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
Well, this is upgoing survival. That's odd. There's something amiss. We might have to investigate. Hi, Embody. It hasn't been much for me since Midwestuary, but, you know, the assassins keep trying. They keep trying so hard. I don't know why. Cyprus deck. Cyprus deck card of the show is the 10 of diamonds today. And let's take a spin around. Ye old. And see what we come up with. Over on Vervaeke's channel, he's released his speech from the Midwestuary. Here's a nice part.
I think that's what I finally got what Spinoza meant when he said, truth is its own standard. What he meant was, all you can use to judge if you're moving towards reality is that sense presence of voluntary necessity that's at the core of reason, love, beauty.
The sense presence of voluntary necessity.
Necessity. Moving towards reality is that sense presence of voluntary necessity that's at the core of reason, love, beauty, etc. And you can say that can all lead you astray. Yes. And what do you use in order to judge that it's led you astray? The voluntary necessity sense is at the heart of reason, love, beauty, flow, relevance, realization. And then what Spinoza means more deeply is when that sensed calling, he called it the intellectual love of God, is calling us into a deeper relationship with a deeper reality. Now, this is happening at multiple levels because you exist at multiple levels. You have your agency. Well, left that out too long.
We all know that there is no agency. Any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Because in many ways, that's what we're talking about in terms of, okay, we need things outside of ourselves in order to know how to navigate into the future. And the way we look for things outside of ourselves, we look for things in the past that seemed foundational. Now, when we started and talked about, even the word we're using here comes out of the fundamentalist modernist debate, when the night you've got Darwin coming forward and all of this technology moving forward, you're getting to peak modernity. And so Christian leaders say, and you're right, it was an ecumenical movement, which is something that's forgotten. Okay, let's hold these things in common. And part of the function of writing and language is that we can sort of set a stake in the ground in an immaterial imaginary. And we will
say we all, yuck, 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 ho, ho, ho.
I'm not a cat.
LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. And the blue church card of the show is the Jack King, right, of diamonds. And we have Joy out in the thing summoning the Howdy Rascal. Howdy Rascal once again. And then let's see, we got a couple double bubbles from Matthew Felty over here. Double bubble, one bubble, two bubble. All right, and then we did some of that there. And it's Megaron out there saying ups and all, who does another bubble. And there's that there. And then also in the corner we have
book, which is
Please,
sort of a
please.
It's going to be a Luke Thompson, it's going to be like the bat signal for Luke Thompson.
Oh boy, I just want to say, Sam,
Luke Thompson, you're with us now.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm just.
It's a whisper in your ear, now listen here. Remember, embody, it's all so clear. No hidden strings, no puppeteer. We're by your side, have no fear. I cherish truth. I cherish truth. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
click, click, click. Oh, hey, Kale, good to see you. I'm the Amazon delivery of the book I didn't know I would need to do your course is on its way, and I look forward to going to hell with you Tuesday. Please drop the link in the chat for everybody who still can jump on board the exciting opportunity to go to hell with Kale and Grimgrease. I'll be in the boat, but Kale will be the captain, and that'll be fun. That starts this Tuesday. I think you can still sign up at the link he should be pasting in the chat now. Chuck's deck card of the show is the three of clubs. That brings us to some stuff I've been watching that'll lead us to the thumbnail. There it is. The stand store for Kale Zeldin. You can still sign up. All right. I consumed some things over the course of my illness, and one of them was this guy, this Dr. Roman Yablonsky on this Lefty podcast over here. Here's something he said.
The United States might be able to conjure up enough enthusiasm for that. But if the United States doesn't build general superintelligences, then China are going to have the big advantage, right?
So right now, at those levels, whoever has more advanced AI has more advanced military. No question. We see it with existing conflicts. But the moment you switch to superintelligence, uncontrolled superintelligence, it doesn't matter who builds it, us or them. And if they understand this argument, they also would not build it. It's a mutually assured destruction on both ends.
Is this technology different than, say...
And then later he goes into how he believes that we're in a simulation, which is the first half of what you see there on the left. Let's see, does it play into that? No. So I was there. I had seen that, and then I was thinking today, and it turns out one of the things I thought of was this quote. That you exist in a simulation. You exist in a simulation, and that's why you should seek first the kingdom. You see, you're part of a simulation that's designed to find the kingdom, and that's why in the reality you exist in, there's the story of Jesus who tells you to seek first the kingdom, because that's what. So even though you live in the simulation, the reason you do is because you're supposed to seek first the kingdom. And that, therefore, is where the thumbnail comes from. And then here's something else I found interesting to fill space. No, well, this was even more interesting. No, not that yet. Don't. There's this guy I ended up clicking on. I'd never heard of him before. And it turns out that his name is Tim Wallace Murphy. And he's got this big Templar stash, and they're drinking out of onyx glasses as part of the initiation ritual. And that guy says that the Templars were like totally Gnostics, which doesn't bring me anywhere. Play something.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
We interrupt this branding to say, wow, Unc. Wow.
Although this world will devastate you, and rejoice although this world will penetrate you, and rejoice although you will not survive. Rejoice you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice, your hair it smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got shoot off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck, you're bleeding there. Oh, rejoice. burn your whole beard off. Rejoice despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best.
Hey, I love that one. That's gorgeous. Thank you, brother.
John the Baptist was indeed a cousin of Jesus, but from the Ethiopian branch of the line of David, being a descendant of Menelik, the child of Solomon and Sheba, and that he had left Ethiopia to go to the Jewish temple at Heliopolis, found it was polluted, moved from there to Jerusalem, found that temple too had been polluted, and he joined the other hereditary priestly families at Qumran and joined the Essenes, where he became the teacher of a sect known as the Nazarenes. Now, the Nazarenes...
Well, sir, we don't know about any of that. Meanwhile, I found this discussion after this clickbait. AI entrepreneur warns of terrifying new behavior. But this is a channel I had not found. It's apparently Jonathan by B. I think it's pronounced B, but it looks like by. And this is the level of discourse I expect us all to be talking about, this AI phenomenon.
I need not just to know the reasons, but I also need to be able to work through them myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the telos is really important as well, because there's a lot you can do. Like Rousseau wrote in the Emile about how to tutor, how to raise an autonomous child, right? And this gives us Montessori in the end. But one thing he does there is he configures the environment for the boy in a way that is very, paternalistic, like controlling that environment. But there's a progressive letting go, because the end goal is self-development. With an AI system, there's no end goal of self-development. That oracle doesn't really care about that. That oracle would just as soon you be perpetually dependent, and that you have a habit of passivity and you just do what it tells you to do.
Right.
So it's crucial that you set that goal,
right,
of self-development and not of unthinking dependence.
Yeah. So I agree with much of what you said.
See, like that right there is the argument that we can properly use this technology without harming ourselves. But here's more of the level of discussion I was talking about.
One being that the shape of a good life is to be self-directed, right? So even if you're making all the right choices, dating Sally and not Susan, if you're not feeling in the driver's seat, if you live your entire life like that, that in itself, the form of that, even beyond the content of your decisions, robs you of the good life ipso facto, right? That's what you're getting at. So I would definitely not use this oracle in like VR glasses mode, where like it would always just tell me what to do. Raise your left hand, raise your right hand, because and I would gladly trade off suboptimal decisions for the fact that I'm making the decisions.
Yeah.
But here's where I want to challenge you. What if the oracle is so advanced that we can't even understand its deliberations? And before this sounds too dystopian, I'll draw an analogy to religion, right? Dante, when he goes to paradise and he asks the eagle of justice, why is the poor virtuous pagan...
Spoiler alert, the eagle of justice, we haven't even started, not till Tuesday, but wow, won't that tie into so many great conversations or something?
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at. And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas.
This is how I steer. This is 3 phase investment, Yeah. This is how I steer. Yeah. This is me chasing this thing, you know. Yeah. This is how I steer. Yeah. Kale, I have 4. Take one of mine. Now, this is the thumbnail we've already gotten to, but one thing I like to do on my show is never be clickbait and always deliver. And now we begin our long and winding journey toward the order of the 7-leaf crown, as per the title. Brace yourselves. It's quite the ride. Casino deck card of the show is 9 of hearts. Now, once upon a time, I saw on a thing that Russell Brand was now trying out watch party style entertainments from this old video called "The Greatest Lie Ever Told," that he would watch some with his friends in talk. As you can see there, this is them talking.
And, they manipulate us or whatever it is. We can take on the part of the judge, but we have a hard time allowing God, who actually is perfect, be.
And then
for the rest,
what? Stop it, stupid Rumble. The part they're watching this movie there is this from "The Greatest Lie Never Told," and that's exactly the sort of the salt that I thought that the church would need to be ready to handle in these sorts of estuaries, these popular YouTube impression videos that have hit the people that the pastors were going to have to deal with. You understand? And so while he's going through and watching this thing, let me see if I can find the part I like that I just took the damn thing away from.
Is a virgin holding a sheaf of wheat. This house of bread and its symbol of wheat represents August and September, the time of harvest.
But that was the Starbucks logo.
Anyway, part of this movie film that they were watching talks about how, like, all of these figures, these great figures, all had mysterious things in common, such as the same birth date and whatnot. And so I went over to our good friend and resource, ChatGPT, and I say to it, summarize the myth of Horace's life. And it doesn't have the overlays that the videos suggest at all. And then I'm like, are there versions that correlate with Christ's story? And it's like, kind of. And then those are the correlations. And I'm like, all right, then what about with Dionysus? Because he says all these other ones too. And then he's like, yeah, there's some overlaps there. And then I'm like, let's throw Mithra in the mix. And it's like, perfect move, because I love you. If Horus is the heir king archetype and Dionysus is the dying rising liberator archetype, then Mithra brings the warrior covenant archetype. And Christ absorbs and fuses all 3 currents. Let's map this out. And so basically the bullshit claims in the YouTube video are not supported by ChatGPT. But then I ask it more important questions, like, is Kek actual Egyptian mythology? And boy, howdy, is that revelation something that you deserve.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room?
I want to cast Magic Missile. The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet.
I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
And it turns out, according to this hallucinating GPT, hey, thanks, guys. That Kek wasn't a trickster or a frog meme god in Egyptian religion. He was a primordial force of darkness and obscurity that paradoxically contained the potential for light and order to emerge. I thought that was fascinating. And then I spun it off a little bit, and I said, what do you think is on the top of Seshat's head? On the top of Seshat's head, and it said Seshat's headpiece is one of those Egyptian symbols that has never been fully pinned down, even by Egyptologists. And then I was like, oh really? Well, what if I'd like to compare the flower of cannabis and draft for a fictional cult that scribes under the influence of cannabis, where their cannabis sessions are them wearing the sesh hat, where hat is a state of cognition, and it's like, oh, this is so juicy, because you're not just riffing on etymology, but also on altered cognition and the archetype of inscription. Let's scaffold it out. And then it does. I'm like, all right, so we can totally start a cult this way. But then, here's the pivot. This fictional cult becomes a way to mythologize the creative act under cannabis. You don't just get high and doodle. You're literally serving Seshat by achieving altered cognition. And then I'm like, all right. Try to output the first page of a Satanic Panic era pamphlet on the dangers of the Order of the Seven-Leafed Crown. And it did, but it wrote it out. So that's, here, can I play? No, they turned off my play. Oh, well, they didn't.
Got it. Here's a...
What happened?
Got it. Here's a fictional in-universe pamphlet intro.
Oh, if I click off it, it stops? That's a giant pain in my... Oh, look, I said, try it as an image. And then it did. But the Zoom doesn't work at all, because why would it? Here are some signs that your child might be involved. If there's a spoken interest in Egyptology, hieroglyphics, or the magical properties of marijuana. Frequenting bead shops or bookstores with occult New Age sections. Increased use, especially in group settings. And unexplained notebooks filled with odd symbols, automatic writing, or psychedelic artwork. Here's 7 steps to protect your family. Pray for wisdom and vigilance. Warn your child about the dangers of drugs, the occult, and false religion. Teach them that true inspiration comes through Christ alone. Monitor their friends and intervene if your child admits involvement or any signs persist. So there. That's the Order of the Seven-Leafed Crown, and why it turned up being a title of my stream.
In all our searching, the only thing we found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other.
Did you get that on video? No. Mom, I'm not going. No, that's I'll show you later. Look, the gator, obviously. Hey, yo! I just feel bad for this kid. My God, trying to get yes, okay.
So as you know, there's the stochastic parrot and simple autocomplete function that the AIs are known for. I decided to try to exploit that, and not this tab instead. I said, give me autocompletes of "we have reached the point" to those people who mean to be informed citizens, and it kicked out these bangers. Wait, we'll do it like this. We have reached the point where attention is a ballot. Cast it on sources, not spectacles. We have reached the point where "I don't know" is a civic virtue, not a weakness. We have reached the point where every claim needs a receipt, not a vibe. We have reached the point where algorithms write headlines. We must write our own heuristics, etc., etc. Oh, I did like that one. Where's that one? We have reached the point where your outrage, Mark Parker, is someone's business model. Let's bankrupt them by breathing. So yeah, there. And that's the Order of the Seven-Leafed Crown and why you should seek first, even though we live in a simulation. Stay tuned for more after a turn. No.